Imagine you're scrolling through LinkedIn and seeing a data analyst job posting at your dream company. You're excited, you've got the skills, you have done the projects, and you hit apply. That's when you see 2,000 other people applied within hours. Yes, it's really competitive, but is it supposed to be this competitive? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why this is happening and what you actually need to do to stand out in today's data analyst job market. Exactly, the data analyst job market is so competitive right now. In case you don't know, there are over 100,000 layoffs in US in just January 2026. Just January, 1 month. This is the worst since the Great Recession. Let that sink in. And when companies try to cut cost or try to lay people off, who is the first one to go? Typically, a support role. There are many careers in data science that are considered support roles, and data analyst is one of them. At the same time, entry-level opportunities are very limited. LinkedIn shows over 100,000 data analyst job listings in the US in February 2026, but only about 20,000 entry-level jobs. That's roughly 20%. Meanwhile, the barrier to entry has dropped. Let me explain. With online courses and tools like ChatGPT, more people have the basics, which means more candidates competing for a relatively small number of entry-level roles. Yes, building dashboard and reports is super awesome and really cool. But in the current environment, that's not going to get you far. What actually matters now is if you can drive business impact with your work, which basically means money, and if you can prove that your work drove that. This means that thinking beyond just the charts, understanding how your analysis affects decisions, revenue, or cost is very, very important. And one of the best ways you can do this is one, tie your work to the business impact. Second, talk about it and show it. And one of the most effective ways I have done this, even outside of my core team, is by sharing what I have learned in a way other people can actually use. For example, let's say you have built a new methodology to understand customer churn rate, a very common task as a data analyst. But instead of just sharing the final metric, what you're going to do is you're going to document everything. You're going to document how you came up with this idea, how you pulled the data, how you calculated the churn rate score, how the methodology that you came up with is applicable to other businesses, other products, and other teams that are possibly in your org or even outside your org. That way you're able to scale whatever you have done to a wider org. Basically, it's, let's say with your work, you were able to drive $1 million. Now, if you scale it, that impact becomes $10 million. This is just an example of what scaling your work and driving business impact could look like. One of the tools that I've personally been using to share my work and create guides and learnings is Scribe, who is also sponsoring this portion of the video. I'm currently building a SQL quiz using a vibe coding tool, and I want to show others how they can vibe code too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new Scribe and start the capture. Then I follow my workflow and publish the workflow, and I finish the capture with Scribe. Scribe automatically turns everything I did into clear step-by-step guide with screenshots and steps that I can share as a link, download as a PDF, or embed anywhere. Plus, any updates I make to the guide are applied automatically, so there's no need to reshare it. And with Subscribe's Guide Me feature, people can follow the process interactively, click by click, right in their browser. Go to scribe.how/Sundus or click on the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more powerful features with Scribe Pro. Now let's talk about point number 2. Experience still matters even at entry level. Yes, almost every entry-level job today asks for 2 years of experience, and realistically, how are you supposed to get 2 years of experience without first getting the job? It's like a chicken and an egg problem. The key here, please listen carefully, is understanding the experience is more than just the full-time role. It's your internship, personal projects, academic projects, pro bono work, and volunteer work all count if you frame them correctly. All of that combined is experience as a data analyst. So do not discount that. And honestly, when I started my career, my first internship was unpaid. It wasn't ideal, but it helped me learn, build credibility, and get something real on my resume. If you're starting with a blank resume, being open to opportunities like that strategically can help you get unstuck. Moving on to point number 3, you need a broader core skill set. Let me explain. SQL and Excel are no longer enough. AI can already handle basic reportings, which means the bar for the data analyst roles have gone up. Today, you're expected to know Python or R, understand statistics, have strong product and business sense, and know how to use AI to do your job better. Not replace your thinking, but to amplify it. AI has become the core skill set required for a lot of tech roles right now. Believe me, I was talking to one of my friends at Meta. She's interviewing for PM roles, and she told me that vibe coding is one of the interview questions, and they'll literally make you do live vibe coding. So AI is not going anywhere. It's becoming part of any and every role, specifically if you touch repetitive work that you have to basically do over and over that can be easily automated with AI. The best thing you can do is learn how to use AI to amplify your skill set. And of course, you already know this because you have been following me for some time. If you're finding the video helpful so far, like this video and let me know in comments if any of these 3 points resonate with you. Okay, my bonus tip here, it's gonna get me a little bit of hate. Be open to in-office work. Yes, remote work is amazing, which is exactly why everyone wants it. If 100 data analysts apply for a remote job, you're competing with all 100 of them. But only half of those people are open to hybrid or in-office roles, which means your competition is only 50 people for an in-person job versus a remote role, which is 100 people. And no, this is not about loving the office. It's about increasing your odds, especially if you need to land a job quickly. On that note, remember that it's just tough right now, but it's not impossible. I know it can be discouraging to job search right now, but the worst thing that you can do is feel rejected. Stay positive and keep trying. That's honestly the best thing you can do right now. Let me know your thoughts on the data analyst job market in comments below, and I hope you're having a great day. I will see you in the next video.